Hey there everybody, welcome to GMG, where we talk about simple life topics and we randomly give away $100 every month. I'm Kyle Spitzley, and today we're going to talk about quality versus quantity. It's better to have a few things that are great than a lot of things that aren't. So this week's message is based on the Bible verse of Ecclesiastes 9 verse 10. Whatever your hand finds to do, verily, do it with all your might. So when I read this, it tells me that no matter what I'm doing, whether it's washing my car or doing schoolwork or doing something at work, I have to do it to the best of my ability. I can't cut corners, I can't slack off, I can't just quickly get it done to get it done. So think about doing something for your boss at work. You don't do it as fast as you can and then just throw it back to them and say, yeah, I'm done, and do it in a cheap way. You want to do it with quality work. You want to show them that you're doing well. So maybe you'll get promoted, maybe you'll get more responsibility, maybe you'll get paid more. Ultimately, you want to give them your best quality work. You don't want to give them some crap. You don't want to give them something they're going to give back to you and say, this isn't good enough. And I know that we're so busy with life. There's so much going on that we just don't have time to put 100% into everything. A great example is a birthday card for somebody. Oh, I forgot it's their birthday. Oh my gosh, Christmas is in December this year. So we just run to the store, we grab a card, and we just sign our name at the bottom. We barely even read what's in it. And we end up just buying stuff and sign our name on it as if we said it. We look at it like, this sounds like something I would say, and we sign our name at the bottom. But that's not really, a quality card. It's not a really good message for somebody. What I think we should do is put some time into writing in that card. Leave a message that's personal, something that has quality, that's meaningful to that person. Another example is when you have a carpenter building a house. If he cuts corners and doesn't build it up to code, first he's legally liable for that building because it's not up to code and it's dangerous to the person living in it. But second, the house isn't going to last very long. It's gonna fall short in whatever way that he cut corners when he was building it. And so that quality that wasn't put into it was replaced by the quantity. The guy thinks he can build more houses if he takes shortcuts. And yes, he can build more houses, but they won't last as long. So we have to slow down and focus and do things right the first time we do them. If you're going to do something, do it right. That's what my dad always told me. It's not like this is easy. It takes energy. You have to actually put some time and effort into it. If we focus on a few things versus a lot of things, we end up getting much better quality. And I like to relate this to evangelical Christians who go out and try to save as many people with Christ as they can. And they'll go out and they'll preach the gospel to 1,000 people. And while all 1,000 of those people might have been saved that day, but then the next day the preacher, he goes to a different country or a different state and he preaches to another 1,000 people. And that's great. He's reaching a lot of people. But there needs to be a focus on those individuals and on their development and their growth in their Christianity and their belief. They need to mature, and they can't do that on their own. So I think it's more important to save 2 or 3 people and to help them grow and mature to become followers of Christ so that they can lead others to him and help them develop than it would be to save 1,000 people and not help them grow at all. So if you watched our video, You Are What You Think, that we put up a couple weeks ago, we talked about how your actions define your character. And so if you just make this a habit, make this routine in your life, and you continue to do quality work in everything that you do, in your relationships and in your work, in your spiritual walk with God, your life will produce more. Your life will be more abundant, and you'll be happier with the things that you have. It's just the simple nature of the way things work. The more effort you put into something, the more you get out of it. If you take good care of your garden, you'll get a good harvest. So at the end of the day, it's more about the quality of the things that we produce and that we work on than it is about how many that we produce. If you think about a factory that produces 1,000 shirts in a day versus the woman who knitted one herself, which one has better quality? The one that was handcrafted. That's why that stuff costs more money, because it took more work to put into it. The quality is better. That's why fancy furniture that was hand carved costs more than the stuff you get from IKEA. It doesn't have any quality. It's all about quantity. So remember, it's about the quality that we put into things, not the number that we get out of them. And now on to today's current event. Recently, a Malaysian study talked about an employee's ability to produce in a longer number of hours versus shorter number. And the short version of the story is that just because you work overtime, work long hours during the week, doesn't mean that you produce better work. It just means that you spend more time at your desk. It actually points to the fact that you don't manage your time well because it's taking you longer to do things that you might have been able to do in a shorter amount of time. The end result of the article was that you should have a good work-life balance. If you have that balance, you can put quality into the work that you do when you're at work. Otherwise, you're just going to burn yourself out. After 8-10 hours in a day of mental work in an office, your brain doesn't really have those creative juices that it did during the day. So don't let the guy who stays in the office for 12 hours make you feel like you need to stay in the office for 12 hours. Maybe he works well that way, but you might not. So now on to today's fun fact. These fun facts are about American consumption. Did you know Americans, on average, eat 18 acres of pizza every day? That is a lot of pie. Every time you lick a stamp, you consume 1/10 of a calorie. So if you're on Weight Watchers, make sure you keep those points. Americans consume 400 million cups of coffee per day, which is 146 billion cups every year, which makes us the leading consumer of coffee in the world. Americans consume 16 billion jelly beans on Easter Day. And if you took all those jelly beans and you lined them up end to end, one little jelly bean after another, they would go around the entire globe 3 times. And the last fun fact is that 20% of American meals are eaten in a vehicle. Okay, so today's question of the week, we want you to answer down in the comments below. Tell us an example in your life of when you chose quality over quantity, and let us know what that's like. Share with us your thoughts down in the comments. As always, I'm going to mention the Kingdom assignment, the reason we give away $100 every month. The whole reason we do these videos is because we want to spread God's word and we want to spread God's glory. So how we do that is we give away $100 every month on a giveaway video, which will probably be the next video, so keep an eye out for that one. But what we do is we give away the $100 and we ask that you take that money as God's money. You do something good with it in God's name. To win, all you have to do is leave a comment on that video the week that we're doing a giveaway. And then the next week, we'll choose that winner, and we will announce them at the next video. So that's our show for the week, folks. We appreciate you spending the time with us. As always, have a wonderful week. Go out and bless the world. God bless you all.